and the international networking platform we have established together with BPI France and other international partners. We have the pleasure to host a pitching event on the BlueTech and water innovation sector and thematic. I have to inform you that the session will be recorded and will be available for everybody else's use, at least on the participants on this venue. Our innovation team and our members of the team of the innovation division of the bank are here to help you. Whoever has questions, he may pose them through the chat, and we will have to give the floor now to the first company out of the six that they will start, Mr. Tsanzelis and the company Meton Innovaten. So, Mr. Tsanzelis, the floor is yours. Please feel free to upload the presentation and start.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, please put it on the full screen mode. And it is 5 minutes pitching and 5 minutes or a little bit more for questions. Please go ahead.
Okay, so good evening to everyone. My name is Stavros Tsanzelis. I'm a mechanical and electrical engineer. I'm founder of Meton Innovatens, and today I'll present you Simorphosis. With Simorphosis, we are trying to solve the sea problems like dark ships, and as a major problem, and as a secondary problem, plastic and oil pollution. These problems, they have high social and environmental impact, and also they have very big financial impact. You can see the numbers of the dark ships and also of the marine pollutions. It's about 50 billion per year from dark ships and about 2.5 trillion per year from the marine pollution. Today's solutions, they are in two levels divided, in local and global level. In local level, using coast guards with limited number, limited coverage, limited time of lights, and with a limitation of weather and real-time global and data, they can't find a robust solution. Also, this local solution is quite expensive, as the cost of purchase, maintenance, and personnel cost is quite big. You can see some numbers of the US Coast Guard. The global level, they try to use satellites which are extremely expensive to purchase, to maintenance, and also the personal additional cost. They are limited number and coverage, and also the big problem is how you can handle the end of life of these satellites in the space. So let's think out of the box how you can solve these issues. As you can see in the screen, right now, today, we have about 40,000 vessels above 500 tons, which they have active automatic identification system. It's a system which provides coordinates, direction, previous port, next port, etc. So as you can see, we can cover all these seas. And Simorphosis, how it works. We fuse data from radar of the vessel, of IAS, which provide coordinates, and also optical, thermal imaging, and any other sensor data. With Simorphosis, we fuse this data, and we can send using satellites or ordinary communication channel in the global Meton and Innovatens database. So, with Simorphosis, we can create a multiparametric, multifunctional data fusion and collection system with big number of sensors, with 24/7 detection in all weather conditions, worldwide coverage, real-time global and record data, tracking with only additional costs. And in the future, we have additional capabilities of navigation in low visibility conditions, pilot protection, search and rescue, etc. This is the main target, but you can add about 22 million of recreational boats, which has IAS as an optional equipment. What is the business model? The business model is, we call it data in tariff, like feed-in tariff from PVs. So the first step is to sell to owners of the vessels Simorphosis, but how you can attract the owners to purchase Simorphosis. We pay also when we receive data from the owners. So you can have, after 5 or 6 years of using Simorphosis, they balance the purchase cost of Simorphosis, and after these years, they can earn money from using our equipment. But also, we sell this data about the dark ships, about the pollution in governmental and also a big international organization. What's the action plan? The action plan is to receive funding this year and to complete the first version and data collection system, to make some pilot installations, and the next 2 years to have a European authorities demonstration and also the full production in 2 years. The team is consists from 2 mechanical engineers, me and Andreas, 1 electrical engineer, Socrates, 1 IT engineer, Gerasimos, and Stavroula, which is interior design and is responsible for the PR. Metal Innovators is founded in 2017. Until now, we have 2 patents, Greek patent and also US patent award for other equipment, and award for the Blue Hackathon Day 2 years ago. We participate in many system programs, and as I said before, we have 2 patents, 1 Greek patent and 1 US patent. 4 years ago. We have a Greek patent for the foreign object debris detection system in progress, and we have under preparation the Simorphosis patent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting. There is one question, how many pilot installations you have to proceed with before the end of the next phase?
We schedule to have the 25 pilot installations in a GNC.
Mm-hmm. And the approximate total cost of investment will be?
It's about 800,000 euros.
Okay. Right. Okay. Clear.
Do you want to send on the chat my email address, or probably provide by you?
Yes, please, but your presentation will be available to anybody who is presented here, so feel free to share it, but in any case, somebody else has any other questions, we will do the same thing, forward your data in any case and your details. Okay. So we'll wait for 1 minute more to have 1 question or 2, or whoever wants to raise an issue. Right, so if we have no more questions, thank you very much. We have your email address, is on the chat all the way through, and we proceed with the next company. Thank you very much, Mr. Tsandalis.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Too. You too. Bye-bye. Right, so now we may proceed with the next company, Nesser, with Mr. Pesiridis Apostolos.
Hello, welcome everyone. Let me just bring up my presentation. Okay, can you all see it?
Yes, can you please upload it in a full screen mode?
Sure, 1 second. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Yep, good.
So can we start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Welcome everyone. My name is Apostolos Pesiridis. I'll be presenting IFS, which is the intake flow control system by Nesser Engineering, one of our partners in the consortium you see at the bottom, made up of Nesser Engineering, the inventor, Mr. Serlivakis, Metapower UK, the R&D engineering company, and the University of Patras as well. So first of all, what are we dealing with here? So obviously we have hundreds of millions of installed internal combustion engines, and the key issue was fuel consumption and reducing fuel costs, particularly in the corporate sector. Secondly, and increasingly more important, is the reduction of emissions of all types, as you can see here. And the emissions legislation is becoming stricter and stricter. Our solution to the problem, there have been many patents and many solutions to the internal combustion engine and its component. This is one more component, but it has a profound effect. And on top of that, it's a very simple device. It's the device you see on the left. It's a double valve system that controls the volumetric charging of an internal combustion engine. It is fitted at the intake, the inlet of an engine, and controls it increases the combustion as well as the volumetric efficiencies. By doing that, we reduce the fuel consumption by 40% and emissions by as much as 80%. This means a huge benefit to any company or any individual driving a passenger car in terms of corporate costs, reducing expenditure by 10 to 15% overall, because as we know, fuel costs are the main driver. The device is applicable to all types of engines, all types of gasoline and diesel engine and any other fuel. It's fuel agnostic, and it has been proven. The main thing here is that this is a proven device already tested in the field, both at sea, on ships, and on land. This is just one small example of a device tested on a ship engine. And as you can see in the middle portion there, the baseline engine was reduced in terms of fuel consumption from 232 to 140, so a 40% proven reduction in fuel consumption. And in terms of just soot and smoke, up to 77% reduction and 73% reduction respectively. There's no known competition in terms of devices in the intake of an engine that do this sort of thing. So it's a unique device. And in terms of other devices that help with emissions but not fuel consumption, we have a whole host of after-treatment systems that you can see here, all of which can either be reduced in terms of requirement or completely eliminated by the use of this simple intake system. Our customers are everything that includes a gasoline and diesel engine, both in the transportation sector, maritime, rail, automotive, commercial, on and off highway, or industrial power generation, the industrial sector, manufacturing and so on, as well as large buildings and diesel generator sets for power generation locally. The market, we've used estimates for lower or higher costs of installation, depending on the engine size. So we think this is just for 2 of the 6 markets that you saw, trucks and ships. We have a 96 billion market here in terms of addressable market, and we think the necessary can be generating on average in the next 22 years from 2028, which is our market entrance year, of over 400 million years just addressing these 2 markets. Of course, the market is much larger than just trucks and ships. How are we going to achieve this? The market entry, stage 1, this is the project we're trying to set up now. It's the research prototyping and certification project from 24 to 2026. And then stage 2 is that to get the TRL level, the readiness level up to 6, and then from 6 to 9 between 2026 and 2028. This is a fully developed project. What we think we're going to be achieving the next 2 years is described here, all the steps to achieve this research project and actually certify it. And our vision eventually and business model is to obviously, first of all, develop the system locally in Greece. We have identified land outside Athens in Lavrion, and to be able to manufacture and sell IFS worldwide. Where we cannot do that, our thinking is that we will be able to sell IFS by licensing agreement with other manufacturers to cover as wide a market as possible. We have fully costed this project per partner and per research per cost category, and we're looking for 2.3 million from investors for the first stage up to 2026. In terms of IP strategy, this is already covered in Greece up to 2036, and it also has WIPO protection, as you can see on the right-hand side. And we're looking to extend protection worldwide, multiple countries, especially all the main manufacturing countries, at a cost of 300,000 euros. Our consortium is Nestor Engineering, Meta Power, and the University of Patras, with huge experience in internal combustion engine development, all of us. And this is the main consortium. And then we've partnered with a key subcontractor to deliver this stage 1, this RPC, the first stage of development up to 2026, which is the University of Bath and its IAPS Propulsion Center, which is one of Europe's premier certification centers. In terms of shareholding, 40% of this venture will go to the inventor, Nesser in blue, 15% each to the offshoot company of the University of Patras and Meta Power, and 30%, up to 30% to our potential investors. Thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy, me and my colleagues will be happy to take them.
Thank you very much. It's a very clear, promising project involving the efforts of research teams from university, private sector, and experts on the field. So, yep. Feel free to have any questions, please, through the chat. If not, the company information deck will be available for everybody. Right. It's a question. Cap table as of now. There's a question.
Sorry, the cap table.
What is the cap table now?
So you're referring to a certain slide here, or?
Okay.
Sorry. So I'm not sure I understand the question.
In terms of your last slide, where was the pie chart with percentages?
Yes.
What is the cap table now between the people, the organizations involved on your cap structure? Yeah.
Just to clarify, so this is not a unified structure. We have a consortium at the moment. The idea is to have essentially a joint venture of the three partners here in Greece as one business unit. Doesn't have a name yet. This is just a percentage split of how we think this will proceed, but we have not finalized it yet. We're in the process of.
Okay.
So these are three distinct organizations at the moment, but the intent is to create one business unit in Greece.
Okay. All right. Right. So we have no other questions. We have to ask Mr. Tsanzelis, also from the previous presentation, to reply to us on how much money he's asking for through the chat, please. And we may proceed. Thank you very much, Apostolos. And we may proceed with the other company, Sami Yat, and thank you again, Mr. Ioannis Kostopoulos. So, Mr. Kostopoulos,
Hi, we can't hear you. You're muted. Now we can.
So good evening, everyone. Now you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me also share my presentation. So can you see the presentation?
Of course, if you can please put it on Bravo. Okay,
yeah,
great.
That's fine.
Okay, so I can start. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Kostopoulos Ioannis. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Sami, a great company that one of our main visions is to lead the digital transformation of the sector, of the yachting sector around the globe, and actually interconnect the world of marinas and with the skippers and sea travelers. So regarding the challenges of the market, we have seen that more than 90% of the market is highlighted with cumbersome and outdated booking systems for marinas and tourist ports, and also lack of real-time data collection and communication. We are speaking of a big community of more than 200 million end users with high demands for digital services, and of course with a large amount of investments. Last year was around 50 billion euros that concentrated to environmental friendly boats infrastructure, increasing demand for mega yachts. Greece is one of the most popular mega yacht destinations, and also new designs like floating docks and moorings. The market is growing also in the COVID period with an average annual growth of around 7%, and we have an annual revenue in the market of around 45 billion euros. We're speaking about 25,000 marinas and tourist ports and hundreds of thousands of anchorages. And as I mentioned before, 200 million for recreational boats around the world. So what we are offering to the market actually is a digital platform for the yachting industry that interconnects marinas, skippers, and sea travelers in order to collect data in real time and visualize the daily operations in marinas. Having as a main service the berth reservation and management of berth spaces in marinas, but also provide the services like real-time marine traffic management, digital twin services, visualizing, as I said before, the critical ports and marinas infrastructures, navigational and berth assistance features, and instant communication and notification between marine and operation and vessels. Since 2019, when the company incorporated, we have launched our systems in more than 40 marinas and tourist ports in Greece. Last year, we fulfilled more than 5,000 berth reservations and 11,000 transactions, and we have built stronger partnerships with international companies like Deutsche Telekom, so that has Deutsche Telekom and Greek branch that it is OTE here in Greece, and also Amazon Web Services, where we are partnered with them in Naxos Smart Island project. And in the next years, we are planning to have some flagship projects in Greece and Croatia. Also, we have a strong R&D department and activity. We have participated in more than 10 competitive EU and national projects with a total amount of more than 1.5 million euros that we have already developed, and we have now ongoing projects under Horizon 2020. As I mentioned before, we are targeting mainly to Europe with more than 10,000 marinas and tourist harbors and more than 40,000 anchorages. And our main aim is to be the biggest service provider in Southeast Europe, primarily focusing in Southern Europe, and then expand Northern Europe and Middle East. Regarding our growth, we are growing with an annual growth of 135% and an EBITDA around 25%, reaching at the end of 2023 in almost €500,000. And our existing revenue streams is software service with annual contracts with marinas and tourist ports, IoT installation and maintenance, and also R&D project, as I mentioned before. And we also have a plan for additional revenue streams like commissions in berth reservation, integration of services, pricing based on marina port size and marina profile, and also environmental and sustainable development systems and services. We are targeting now to a seed capital of around 1.8 to 2 million euros to expand to 4 countries and enlarge our customer base, also for filling our team growth and innovation projects. And of course, we have a strong competition in Europe and North America with almost 200 million euros invested in leisure marine and yachting industry in 2022. Big players like Dockway in North America, and also the very strong Blue Invest mechanism in Europe from EIF, that it is €500 million for investing in similar initiatives. And of course, we are approaching this market with a strong USP based on technology and also a strong destination like Greece. We're a team of 8, that it is a multi-skilled team, resilient, market-oriented, adaptive, diverse, and with a global mindset. And this was my last slide. And of course, we're here to answer any questions that can be arised from the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very interesting. As always, the problems with finding a place to dock on any port is a difficulty. Presumably, your unique selling proposition compiles your growth, and you may see the difference on your scalability among the other competitors. But nevertheless, there was a question line behind your presentation: what kind of help desk you provide to the difficult circumstances whenever somebody has booked the place through your app, but when he arrives to the point, he finds the tough difficulty of facing the reality of something totally different from what he booked. So do you apply a help desk on 24/7 or whatever?
Yes, we provide both the digital services through online chatting that we are offering from this year. We are offering through direct connection with marinas and tourist ports that we collaborate, but also we have our own help desk where let's say we complement those entities by a help desk support staff that can help and support all the booking process and also all the mooring process, because you know that the biggest problems can happen at the last mile, as we say, at the last minutes or the last hours when the boats are going to berth. So we complement, as I can say, the existing on-dock services that the marinas and ports have with a help desk where we can provide real-time information, or real-time communication in order to help the boats to be served.
Okay. Thank you very much. Which four markets do you plan to enter after fundraising, and why did you target these markets?
As I mentioned, we are starting from Greece, where the combination of technology and the blue economy, we believe that it can be a strong market. And from our experience, we have seen that when we participate in global yachting events, that Greece is considered, of course, as a strong not only market, but a country with tradition and a respectful country in the yachting industry, of course, with a big activity. So regarding your question, we are planning to expand to Southeast Mediterranean countries, naming Cyprus, Turkey, Greece, and Italy. So 4 more countries except Greece, of course, that is the main country that we're activating. We are the leading system in Greece now, and of course we want to expand more and have a bigger footprint in Greece.
Okay. Thanks for answering. We have no other questions. Again, to remind you that all decks will be distributed to the participants of this venue. So, okay.
I'm very happy to answer any other question offline or by email or whatever.
Thank you. Thank you very much again for the presentation. We have to proceed with the other company, and thank you again for being with us with Sami.
Thank you.
Right, now we go ahead with Promilist and with Mr. Koureas.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me and see me fine?
Yes, we can hear you and see you fine.
Great. Let me go ahead and also share my presentation. I think it should be visible, right? Can you see my presentation?
Of course, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So thank you, everyone, for giving me the chance to be here and present the idea behind Promilist and our vision to optimize the voyage that happens in the maritime sector and help the industry as a whole become more efficient and greener. I'm pretty sure that most of you know here the importance of the maritime sector for the global growth and economy. Just a few quick numbers, 80%, closer to 90% now of the goods that we all use and love are transported at one point of their life cycle by sea. And economically, the sector for the European Union specifically is responsible for 50% of the trade in terms of value. So it makes sense that this is quite an important sector for the globe as a whole. However, it is shadowed by a huge environmental impact that its day-to-day operations bring as well, as more than 1 billion tons of CO2 are emitted in the atmosphere yearly. And this is a growing trend, which is projected to increase up to 20% in the next decade. The situation is so significant that both the European Union and the International Maritime Organization have created a very strict legislative landscape, which predicts that from 2027, 100% of the CO2 that is emitted in the atmosphere should be compensated in terms of penalties by the polluter, in most cases the ship owner. And unfortunately, the maritime sector isn't getting any greener, as 99% of the fleet is still operating on fossil fuels, and the average vessel age is 22 years old, which basically means that no retrofitting is possible or financially viable at this point. It is estimated that anywhere from 8 to 28 billion of annual investment would be needed if we want to reach net zero by 2050. Of course, there's something that we can do on our part as Promelis to help with that. We are focusing on a low-hanging fruit, which is the suboptimal sea navigation, a multidimensional problem that is affected by weather conditions, sea currents, and ship specifications, sorry for that, as well as other constraints, such as, for example, piracy zones. And basically, we would like to optimize how a ship is going from a port A to a port B while consuming the least amount of fuel, and that means that it emits the least amount of CO2. By combining artificial intelligence, Earth observational data, and naval engineering, we have created a software as a service platform which can do exactly that. In this particular pilot test that we've run, if the captain followed the wide route, which is produced by our algorithm, instead of the pink one, which is the shortest path on Earth, they would have saved approximately 10% of fuel, which translates to approximately 30K in fuel savings and a reduction of 100 tons for this leg of the trip only. Our clients are any user persona that could use this product, from captains to operators, as well as other companies that operate in the maritime industry, such as charters and brokers. In a nutshell, we're trying to help the maritime sector function more efficiently while also addressing climate change. Of course, we're not operating alone in this field, as there are multiple competitors, but we believe that the accuracy of our results, as well as the fact that we create a bespoke fuel consumption model for each specific vessel, gives us the edge. Now, the target for our next year of operations is to serve through our platform 46 vessels that constitutes approximately 1% of the Greek-owned fleet. And taking into account a subscription-based model, which is charged per vessel per month, we can aim to a revenue of more than 1.5 million if we succeed in our goal. Throughout our years of operation, we were funded in 2022. We've been able to participate in both accelerator and incubator programs by the European Space Agency and Google.org. And we've launched commercially our products last January. We've raised a total of 120K in non-equity grants. They are distributed in a way like this, and we are looking to raise $1 more million over the next 24 months, mostly to grow our team and expand to new markets. Of course, our product roadmap only grows from there, but since we are a team of 5 people with both a great mix of engineering background and business acumen, we believe that we can succeed in our vision. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Great project. There is a question on whether there is an obligation of equity to the funds that they have been already funded you with grants? Is it grant to equity schemes or pure grant schemes?
Pure grant schemes, so no equity. We only have to let the donors, let's say, know where we spend the money.
Okay, and the other question, and the last one we do have, is what is your business model in terms of distribution? Who is doing the selling job for you?
Great, thank you very much for this question. So I think I have a slide about this. Yeah, as I mentioned, our customers are anyone basically who has something to do with how a vessel operates. And for that reason, we can utilize two main channels of distribution. One is direct to consumer. So we find the operators and we try to directly sell to them. Or we can also partner up with other distributors and resellers. So other platforms that perhaps have onboarded vessels from the commercial maritime fleet and would like to, let's say, enhance their capabilities with our products. So those are the two main channels of distribution for us.
Right. Okay. Should we have no more questions? Yeah, we have to say thank you to Promilist and
thank you very much
for the time and effort and for the project. And we continue to the next company, please, which is SailMed and Mr. Gurtoyannis and his partner Jason, I think. So, Mr. Gurtoyannis, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good day from Mykonos port, where we are on the sailboat Pelago, doing the tour of the Aegean. Because our Aegean cargo sailing project is addressing the need to not diminish but eliminate totally the carbon print of sea transport, and also to reconnect the Greek islands, which have been disconnected in the Piraeus central system of transport. So these goals, these needs correspond to the 5 of the 17 goals of the United Nations for Sustainable Development. And the solution that we gave is to go to a sailing transport, like in the old times, but also use modern technology, solar energy and electric motion to do this, to arrive at the solution. We happen to be the first in the world solar electric cargo sailboat with Pelago that you see, and we have practically no competition, zero in Greece, one only company that is doing something similar in the French end of the Mediterranean, while there is a lot of activity like that in the Atlantic, but they do not compete with us. We have, in 7 years that we operate, come to make contact with 60 producers and 20 buyers and stores in Greece and abroad. And we have used this electric sailboat that was funded by the Green Fund, the Greek Green Fund, to do the trips, the experimental trips, all the way around the Aegean and Italy for transport. We have made a connection with the Kamitsis boatyard that is specializing also in transforming boats from diesel to electric. And we are spreading the idea in the Aegean. That's the reason we are now in Mykonos. We are spreading the idea to fishermen and other professionals of the sea that they can go electric. Now, for us, we need to go to a commercial scale, because what we've done up until here is experimental scale. So we need to go to a fleet of 8 sailboats that will transport 480 tons per year in the Aegean, 320 tons in the Mediterranean, and 750 visitors, tourists that come and participate in the project and enjoy the Greek cuisine. The CO2 saving that we anticipate with this fleet is 144 tons per year. The total revenue is 660,000 for the first year, and the annual net income 67,000. Now, the asking finance is 700,000 investment, of which 400,000 would be to buy 4 boats, and then the generated income will help us buy another 4 over the next 5 years. We will use 120,000 for marketing campaign and 180,000 as a cash flow pillow. The project, as I said, has been around for a long time. It has been recognized with prizes in competitions for innovation. It has been recognized in the press. National Geographic is one of the latest ones. Greek TV and the press, not only in Greece, but also in Europe, has covered us for a long time. All this exposure that we have acquired in 7 years has helped us to increase our team, which started with 7 people, but now is increasing in further participations. With me is one of the new members, Mr. Diamadis, and the interest of the sea people is shown by the meetings we make. We just came, yesterday we made a connection with fishermen that are interested in converting to electric motor and possibly, partly at least, solar panels. So that is our project, and we hope that we can have the funds to go to a commercial operation now that can be scaled up much further later on, depending on how successful we can expand the market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kotsogiannis. It's really interesting. We hope you will persuade, local fishermen to go electric. Tough job. Tough job. There is a question. There was a question in the beginning when we spread the messages to our partners on the VCs all around Europe. Why you do care for operating as a pilot 8 vessels and not, for example, 7 or 6? I mean, what kind of difference does it make to your plan? 1 extra vessel if you go, less.
It's commercial mathematic geology or geo-engineering. What we need is to have 1 vessel going by each of the 23 islands that we serve once a week to make sure that they can wait to load or wait for unloading the products and not give it to another company to transport. They have of course, the advantage of getting from us the sticker that says it was transported by wind. So we need 4 vessels to go around the Aegean Sea in one direction and another 4 that go the opposite direction. And then we have once a week, 1 vessel in each direction, which makes life easier for the transport between the islands.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Thank you very much for the effort. Enjoy your time in the boat. I think you spend the most of your time there. At least, a part of your life is in the boat now, okay?
It's my home, essentially.
Okay. I wish I could have the same lifestyle like you. You're very lucky. Right. Fantastic. Thank you very much again for the time and the opportunity to know you better. Okay. We proceed to the other company. And the last one of our pitch deck is Thermodraft and Mr. Apostolos Gundas.
Hello from my side.
Thank you, Mr. Grouchoyannis.
Thank you.
Apostolos, we can hear you.
Fine.
We see you. We see the presentation. Yes, please go ahead.
Fine. So I'm here today. My name is Apostolos Gundas. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm here to present you Thermodraft. We develop innovative solutions in the fields of energy efficiency and decarbonization. Our premises are in Piraeus, Greece. I will begin with the general problem. One of the main needs of shipping companies, but also industrial field, is to reduce fuel consumption and the related cost, and increase in general the energy efficiency. Also, a problem is in the marine field that we need to comply with the IMO regulation regarding the CO2 emissions. So for this problem, we have developed two different products, the high temperature heat pumps that upgrade rejected heat in the range of 40 to 90 degrees C up to 120 degrees C. And one more product, heat to power engines based on the ORC technology, converting rejected heat into clean electricity, reducing CO2 footprint and fuel consumption. At this moment, we have already commissioned our first unit in a vessel of Neptune Lines, while we have also commissioned one ORC system for a biogas power plant, generating more electricity apart from the plant. While we have also developed a unit for about 130 thermal kilowatt based on the technology of high temperature heat pumps. Regarding the market, there are a lot of different kinds of vessels that can employ these technologies. The oil tankers, container ships, general cargo or chemical cargo ships, in total 35,000. Also, regarding the biogas power plants, there is a capacity of 7 gigawatt already in 2002. And more than 300 terajoule that are rejected in the industrial field. Our business model will be promoted by B2B meetings with existing network, while it's based also on direct and indirect sales. Our unique selling points have to do with the customized solution that we provide, the attractive production cost compared to other manufacturers in the EU, while our products are compact and modular according to each vessel's needs. Regarding the ORC solution, we can have a payback period about 3 years, while the indexes EEDI and EEXI are higher, while for high temperature heat pump technology, we can reduce the boiler's fuel consumption by up to 50%, leading to a payback period about 3 years. Regarding the competition, there are a few companies for ORC technology, but no unit is installed on board, so we have already our first system. While regarding the high temperature heat pumps, no commercial products are on the sale. The team is consisted of highly educated and specialized engineers in the field of thermodynamic modeling, thermal processes, heat transfer, and in the field of refrigeration in general. Our implementation plan includes scale up of the design for larger ships, while the significant milestone is the installation of 10 units on board. We have completed also our financial and investment flows that we predict. At this moment, we have already received about 300,000 euros from EC, while we're looking for 500,000 more to use them in the product development, marketing, operation, and legal issues. So that's all from my side. I don't know if you want to ask me something.
Yes, I mean, it's a very interesting project, and there was a question of whether you produce it or you assemble it locally, and what are your plans?
Yes,
And,
we assemble the whole system at our premises in Piraeus. So it's in Greece. We assemble different parts in one system, so it takes place here.
And the other question was that, judging from your competitors, for example, the Climon, which is in Sweden, they're doing an excellent job the past years. They are listed. They do have an exponential increase on their revenues, something like, I think, like 70% on 2023. But I think that their profit margin is quite lower than expected. And I don't know why this feeling is on their financials, and whether your projections operate with generous profit margin or not.
Actually, we know pretty well the competition and the market. We know from the market that the specific competitor had some issues with the engines. The operation was not so acceptable, let's say. So we do believe that we can catch our predictions, and the margin will be according to our plans.
Okay. And right, and of course you will expand it to the whole range of industries, for example, maritime, the industrial sector, the power sector, the geothermal sector. It is in your plans, or
Yes,
you have to be
yes.
sector specific somewhere in the beginning?
At the beginning, marine field was the main field, but already we have developed engines for industrial sector. We have already combined these engines with biomass boilers, with geothermal fields. So yes, we are trying to expand it for all the possible solutions.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So there is a question to be arised now. Please feel free to pose it. Otherwise, the link with this recording will be available to all, containing presentation and speeches. Right. Seems that we have no further questions. So we have to say a big thank you, Apostolos, and
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity to be with us. And yeah, we are on time, less than 1 hour. And thank you again. We have the pleasure to see you on the next pitching event on InnoAgora from the HDB team. Myself, Takis Papageorgiou, the director of the team, and the team will be delighted to have you on board again. So we have the opportunity to see each other again. Thank you very much. Next venue will be by the end of April, beginning May. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.